Good evening, this is Kuro. Got a little bit different video right now, and um, I've been having a bit of bad luck with rank this season so far. We're only a couple days into it. Normally, I'm much higher up in ranked. Uh, 54% win rate for me is absolute trash. Uh, and I know there's other guys in the same boat. So if you've been doing what you should be doing, you're trying to figure out what's going wrong. And so I'm gonna spend a minute and show you kind of the stats that I've got going on, what I feel is important, um, and what can be some indicators that you're not playing up to your potential or where you should be playing. Um, you know, very first thing, wins matter for a destroyer. You're not going to be saving your star. This is your number one objective. I don't care if you have average zero damage. If you've got a high win rate, you're doing something right. So right off the bat, DDs and damage, forget about it. And this is part of what's throwing me. For example, we'll take a look in here. Uh, Kind of the important sections that I feel for destroyers. Um, what is your capture and defense contributions? These indicate how often, or they indicate how good your cap control is. Um, so if you have really low numbers, um, that it's something that you're going to have to work on. I know it's not popular for destroyers to try to cap right now, and I'll be honest, I think those numbers are probably lower than in past seasons. Let's see, I played Z52 last season. Oh no, it's actually about the same. I would have Z52. I played really heavy on the caps last season, so um, I only played 3 games there. Um, but actually, you know, kind of indicating, how good your cap control is. Um, the other metric, um, your average spotting damage. Um, this is really one of the keys to, getting things done. Um, Getting out there, getting the spots, and letting your team, farm people, particularly if they're able to just sit in behind an island or somewhere safe, or you smoke them up, and they're getting all of this damage, and it's costing them nothing. That's absolutely fabulous. That's what you want. That's how you win games, and that requires you to get your little butt out there and get those spots. Um, so another metric that I think is somewhat important, your destruction ratio. Not from the damage standpoint, um, but more how often you're dying. If you've got a really low destruction ratio, I would say definitely under 1. Um, you've got some problems. You need to work on living longer. Probably that means playing less aggressive. Um, um, so that kind of thing. Um, so in my case, I've been racking my brain, and I've been trying to figure out, okay, what is going on here? Why is my win rate crap? So I'm going through and I'm looking at the stats, and I do have some red flags. This is a red flag to me. Um, typically a destroyer should not be averaging 45,000 damage a game. It's I've got 70 games played already. This is not like, I had just a couple monster games. Um, I think just today I had 4 or 5 games over 100,000 damage alone, and yesterday was pretty much the same. Um, you know, this is a red flag. A destroyer on average should not almost be destroying a ship a game. That's, you know, that's crazy high number. At least, regarding past experience for me. Um, my spotting damage it's about average. Oftentimes, I end up going to a cap just alone, and will go there to delay, and obviously cap it if it's free, but basically just delay, spot, and just harass and be a pain for the enemy to deal with. In those games, I typically hardly get any sort of spotting damage because my team's focused on another cap. So, factoring in, 15-20% of my games where that's happening, this spotting number actually starts to look like it's pretty good. I would say the games that I'm actually with my teams, it's closer to probably 50 to 55,000 average spotting damage, which um, it's fairly reasonable. Um, so when you're looking at these metrics, if you're not having the wins, and you're trying to diagnose things, go through here and see what it is going on. Um, if if you're losing a lot on points, um, it might be that you're not playing, hard enough around the caps. That you're letting the enemy keep the caps too long. Um, that'll also be reflected with your percentages for your capture and your defense. Um, if you're not getting your spotting in, you know, depending on your destroyer, by the way, with that, because there's some destroyers like Z52 that you can spend a lot of time in Z52, hugging an island, and that obviously will limit your damage. I mean, taking a look at my numbers with Z52 last season, 35,000 average spotting damage. Uh, Most of this was me just due to me just diving into a cap with hydro and just, being that just a thorn that won't get out of that cap. Um, and this is what I'm talking about. Warships destroyed, um, you know, point 0.5. You know, on average, every 2 games I sunk a ship. That's more in line, more reasonable with typical destroyer play. And the gunboats, obviously, Haragumo, Grozavoy, those things are going to have higher rates. Akizuki, um, because of the nature, they fight more like a cruiser than an actual DD. Um, but this kind of gives you an indication of what's going wrong, or if things are going right, what are you doing right? And so just wanted to take a little bit and just kind of explain, from my perspective, how you can use what Wargaming's giving you to try to help you out, and figure out if you've got any issues going on, or if how you can improve what you're doing. So anyway, I hope you guys found this interesting. It probably wasn't very enjoyable, um, but I imagine there's some people out there that are kind of in the doldrums like I've been the last couple days, and they're scratching their head trying to figure things out. This is the video that my intent is try to help those guys out. So I hope you guys have a good one. Good luck out there, and I will talk to you later.